All right. Welcome to our special called audit meeting.
They hadn't started yet. Mondays and Wednesdays.
Here comes the mayor.
There's the mayor. Thanks for being here. We're going to turn the floor over to Jeff Carter with Taylor Polson and Company to review our audit. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Should have in front of you a bound copy of the audit report. And if we'll open up and turn to page.
Are you ready?
Okay. On page 3, if we'll turn to page 3 on the report, you should have, that is the audit report, independent auditor's report. And we'll start right there with the first two paragraphs. That's the opinion paragraphs. And it states that we have audited the company financial statements of the governmental activities and the major fund of the Leitchfield, the City of Leitchfield Tourism and Convention Commission, a component unit of the City of Leitchfield as of for the year ended June 30th, 2023, and the related notes to the financial statements, which comprise the Commission's basic financial statements as listed in the table of contents. Then the next paragraph is the actual opinion, and it states, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the governmental activities and the major fund of the City of Litchfield's Tourism and Convention Commission as of June 30th, 2023, and the respective changes of financial position thereof for the year then ended. That is a unmodified opinion, unqualified opinion, clean opinion, depending on which terminology you're used to hearing. The new terminology is unmodified. That means that the financial statements that are contained in here do not represent what went on with the Tourism Commission during the year ended June 30th, 2023, and there's no adjustments, no concerns or anything that the information that you have is not correct. Okay, so if we'll flip on, I will point out some highlights of the financial statements. On page 7, this section, well, this whole section right here is management discussion analysis, and it compares everything from 23 to 22, and it's about 5 pages long. So on page 7, it shows you the net position, which is like a balance sheet of the Tourism Commission as of June 30th, 22, compared to June 30th, 23. And when you look at it, there's not a lot of change. You've got about $100,000 more in current assets. Your capital assets went down about $200,000 or about $150,000 due to depreciation. Total assets are about the same, increased about $30,000. And then the current liabilities decreased about $9,000, and your debt has decreased around $150,000, which means that your total net position increased around $200,000, $230,000 for the year there at the bottom. Okay. Page 8 shows, and these are snapshots, the operating results of the Tourism Commission from 22 to 23. So if you look there, your total revenues increased about $50,000 from 1.2 to 1.3. And the expenses actually decreased. So your change, which is a positive, was $198,000 for 23 as compared to $61,000 in 22. And then that goes into the net position for the year. If you have any questions, stop me at any time, and I'll be happy to talk about them and then try to answer them. We'll turn to page 11, page 12. This is the balance sheet compared to the statement of net position. The first column is the general fund, which is the balance sheet. Then we have the adjustments to adjust it to full accrual, and then we have the statement of net position. So the fund, which is how the city and how the tourism actually operates, is kind of like a cash basis, and it does not report the assets It reports them as expenditures. The fund balance, total assets, $2,092,000. The statement of net position is 6.5, the difference being the fixed assets. And then the deferred inflows and outflows are to do with pension and OPEB. Then you have your liabilities. So your current liabilities, or total liabilities, is only $58,000 in the fund. That's what's due within the year. Then you have the adjustments for stuff that's due longer than a year of $3.5 million to give you a total liabilities for the tourism of $3.5 million on there, 3.59. And then when you come on over to page 12, it shows the fund balance is $2,034,000 and change, and then it shows the statement of net positions is $2.9 million, and that is to do with adding the assets, the debt to it.
Jeff,
Yes.
what is in the 4.4 million adjustments on the capital assets?
Well, that is the capital assets. That is the capital assets.
That's our value of our capital assets, right?
That's the book value of the capital assets.
Okay.
Okay. That is like the aquatic center, that's the big one,
Yeah.
and how much it's been depreciated by. Okay? So if you, page 13, that explains those adjustments in a little more detail on what the difference is between a fund balance and from the full accrual balance. Page 14 then will show you your general fund, the operations of it, statement of revenues and expenditures compared to activities and what the difference are. So if you come down, it says in the fund balance, your net change, which is basically a cash basis, was a positive $201,746. And if you look there, you have capital outlay of $8,300, principal payments $160, and then you don't have depreciation listed in the fund balance. When you move over to statement activities, you have to remove what you paid on the bonds and what you paid for new assets, and you have to record the depreciation and the other changes. So there's the net effect of it is about $3,000 between the two of them, but it's $201,000 on the cash basis, $198,000 on full accrual is the income. And I know I probably am confusing you on that, so if you have questions, stop me on it. Page 15 explains those adjustments in that center column in a little more detail. Okay. So when we go, the next section is the notes to the financial statements. We're not going to go through all of them. I will point out the one on page 21. Page 21 there gives you the detail of the capital assets, how much was in improvements, how much is in furniture and equipment, how much is in the aquatic center, how much is the pavilion. So the beginning balance is $5.8 million, the ending balance is $5.871. And if you go down, it shows how much the depreciation is on each of those things, and that comes to that total that you asked about a minute ago, to 4.441220 there on the bottom of page 21 in the corner. And then on page 22, it shows the debt. It shows how much is due in the next year, $165,000 and $98,000 interest for a total outlay of $263. Then it shows the next 4 years, and then in 5-year increments thereafter in order to pay that off. Most of that debt is to do with the aquatic center. Okay. I will skip the rest of these notes and move to the budget, which is on page 37. And the budget shows total revenues was budgeted on the final budget for $1.17 million. You actually received $1.3 million. That's a favorable variance of $140,000. I think the big one is payments coming from the government, which is the hotel and restaurant taxes that came in. It's $118,000, favorable there. And then your expenditures in total, you budget for $1.289779 in the final budget. You actually only spent 1.136. That's a favorable to it of 153,000, meaning you actually spent less than you budgeted for, and you had a favorable variance of 294,000 on there. So you actually exceeded what you planned on spending on the budget. You actually controlled it. And the last section that I will go over with you is on page 47. That is the statement, that is the independent auditor's report on internal control and compliance matter. And it describes what each of them are and what deficiencies are, significant deficiencies and material weaknesses. And that report states that there are no deficiencies, material weaknesses, or significant deficiencies that we identified. It also states on the page 48 that there is no compliance matters that we, with compliance with laws and regulations that we identified during this audit. The last section was a separate letter to you as members of the commission, and it just talks about what the significant audit matters were, what the significant policies are. The second page talks about the corrected, uncorrected misstatements, and that's those two adjustments there. Those are not adjustments to reflect on Sabrina. Those are adjustments that actually come from the state to do with the pension and OPEB plan, and you usually don't get those adjustments till late October, 1st of November to put that in to the report. If there was no disagreements with management, there's no management, the management representation was signed, and to our knowledge, there's been no consultation with other auditors, and there's no other audit issues. In summary of what that letter states. Okay. Any questions?
Any questions?
No.
Clean report. Kelly, you have a question?
I'm good.
Waitman?
That's clean audit, right? Jeff?
Yes, it is a clean audit.
Yeah,
All right.
Thanks for
Brian?
being with us.
thank you.
I appreciate you all allowing us to perform the audit. I appreciate Lori and Sabrina's hospitality while I was over here performing the audit, and I will state that I apologize for this being later in the year than what it normally is. That is actually on me and my staff. We've had some issues
I
there getting
understand.
stuff out,
Yeah.
and it's nothing to reflect on them. I was
Good.
actually finished with the audit in December like normal. It just was getting it out.
Getting it
Seems
there.
to be.
Well, we got it. That's
The
what
same
thing.
matters. Thank you.
I understand. I appreciate you all. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Thank you. All right, we need a motion to approve the audit. Angie with first. Can I get a second? Second by Joyce. All in favor with the sign of aye.
Aye.
All right, I'd like to thank Sabrina and Lori and all the accounting and finance
Yes.
staff for their hard work in getting that together. It's a good, clean report. It's always good.
Thank you so much.
All right. We need a motion. Kelly first, Lyndall second. All in favor with the sign of aye.
Aye.
All right.